Hello, lovelies. Want to do a quick video on tips on how to make your videos a little more aesthetically pleasing. Okay. Now, this is just me talking. I am far from the professional, as you all well know. So this may prove to be a how not to do a video, which is most likely the case. But there's a few things that I've been looking into, but also just things I'm noticing things, and I thought I would share them with you all. If you have a channel or considering having a channel, maybe knowing these ahead of time may or may not be helpful. I mean, you do you. That's one wonderful thing about the YouTubeville is we can all just be ourselves and do what we want to do. So take that into consideration when I'm giving these tips. So you can go la 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 if you'd like, or you could listen and maybe incorporate them in your channel. First of all is lighting. Now, as you know, I just bought the 4 lights, and I'll show you one because I wasn't able to pull it away from the extension cord in the last video. But this is, if I could do it in here, it's huge, but it's literally, this comes off, and there's, hold on, I know this is very awkward for me to do. This is something you don't do in a video, but there's a light bulb inside. It's an umbrella, and then it has this white thing, and it's a big rectangle. So I don't have that one on, obviously. And choking and also going off screen are two things you probably don't want to do when you're doing a video. But lighting is important. And these are really cheap. This whole set cost me like $100. And I've got a huge rack with 3 different green screen, black screen, white screen. Excuse me again. Again, don't do that on camera. And I don't have a drink with me. It's in the other room and I don't want to leave and come back. But yeah, the whole set was like $100 on Amazon. And I got 4 lights because I want to bring a couple over to Rusty's house, because the lighting over at Rusty's is even worse than it is here. So, yeah, you could probably get one of these for like $30 on Amazon, but check that out. I do want to say, however, with lighting, when you're looking at it, the ring lights, and we had a ring light, and I did notice with the ring light is if you're trying to show your phone, if you have the ring light behind the camera, if you're showing your phone, or if you're, putting on glasses, which I will, because I have a light right here. Now you can see my reflection in that light. That one I have here is an umbrella light. It's a little bit different. It's like literally an umbrella, and then the bulb is behind it. But anyway, if you have a ring light and you have your glasses on, it actually shows the ring on the reflection on your glasses. So that's not a big deal, but it's just that little something that might be distracting to those of us who have OCD or whatever, or concentration issues. Okay, so remember, I'm winging this. This is like off the cuff here, so it's going to be a typical Mama G video, but I'll sneak in some tips while I'm going. Yeah, so that's something to consider, is your lighting. Also, let me start by saying there are many fabulous channels out there that actually spend the time. They go through how to do a video, algorithms, which algorithms I have not even ventured into yet. Remotely I have, actually, but it's a math thing. So that's something I'll have to have somebody else do. But there's algorithms, how to see how you're performing and whatnot and all that kind of stuff. But these other channels are well worth watching just for things like this, little tips. Some of these tips that I'm giving you are ones that I picked up from these videos, and some are just from my own observation. Okay, so that was lighting. That's important. When you do a video, you want to, you're not doing it for yourself. This was the hardest thing for me to comprehend. It seems to be the most obvious, but it was the hardest thing for me to comprehend. When you're doing a video, your goal should be from the perspective of the viewer. And I'll call you my Yarnolicious family, the viewer. So instead of just doing what I feel like doing, and you could still do whatever you want to do because it's your channel. But if you're looking for views, if you're looking for people to return, if you want them to have stay from the beginning to the end, all this kind of stuff, that's all very difficult for even the biggest channels. And that's where the battle begins. And that I'm still a newbie, wet behind the ears on these guys. So, I'm just giving you the little tips along the way kind of thing. So, yeah, so retention is important. So you want to make sure that what you're giving your viewers is engaging enough for them to say, well, geez, I have, 15 minutes out of my day to spend my precious time. Am I going to spend it with you? Am I going to get something from you? Am I going to learn something from you? Is this going to make me feel better when I'm done watching it or while I'm watching it? Is this going to do something for me as a viewer? And that's also very important. That's a tough one to do because we're all doing what we want to do because we're enjoying it. But it's very important to always be mindful of the fact that the person who's watching, you guys, the people, and like I do when I watch your channels, if you have a channel, what are you offering me? Am I enjoying my stay at your place? Do you know what I'm saying? So you don't need to be gimmicky. I mean, there is some like clickbait stuff and gimmicky stuff, which again is fun. Like I can go all day long through like TikTok and those little quickie things and be hours into it. Like I mentioned one other time that I literally went down the TikTok rabbit hole and it was hours afterwards. I was like, where'd that time go? Because it is easy to get caught up in that. All right. The next thing I wanted to mention was camera angle. Camera angle is also important. If you notice, I mean, I've got you in long format right now, only because of the tapestry behind me. If I go the regular way, you're going to see the ends of this tapestry. So for this backdrop is the best format. Excuse me again, I'm sorry. That phlegm. But also something you don't do in a video. So pick this video apart as you're watching it. And all the things that I'm doing that maybe are annoying or boring or inappropriate or disliked, consider that. And that's what I'll get into next. How about that? So camera angle is important. As I sit right now, I'm eye level to you. And I'm actually looking into the dot. Now, I'm going to look at myself in the camera right now. I'm looking at myself in the camera and I'm watching myself talk to you, which is really uncomfortable. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to you. I prefer to look at you. But you see the difference where I'm making eye contact with you, actually, even though I don't see you. I am making eye contact with you. So that's another thing, which I was talking about camera angle instead of eye contact. But there again, I'm winging this, folks. And I think that's important too. It's very difficult for a lot of people to not look at themselves, I guess. Personally, I have one mirror in my house. Actually, I have two because Rusty gave me one, but one's on the floor somewhere. I have one mirror in my house. I don't like to look at myself in the mirror. Even when I brush my teeth, I don't look in the mirror. A lot of people do. But anyway, that's a whole nother, who cares? Like you really care. But angle is important. And I can't do it with this camera because it's sitting on a tripod right now. You want to try to keep your angle straight on. That's, I think, and again, this is all just me, but I think that's the most pleasant view because I feel like we're sitting across a table from one another at a, dining table somewhere chatting. And that's the feeling that I personally would like to give, is that we're just like all just sitting around, unless, and some people have it up like as if you're looking up to them, which I can't do it to the camera because it's on the tripod, but you have a lower up angle. And yes, at my house, I have a short little chair that you could actually do that to you, where you're sitting much lower than me. But that view, to me, it's almost like a child looking up to their parent or looking up to an adult. So not that I don't like that view. I just think that a straight on, eye to eye, equal to equal level is probably a preferable angle. So there again, like I said, everything I'm saying, please, I am by far, I'm only into this a little over a year, and I'm learning from nothing. If you go back and look at my very first video, not that I'm encouraging that, believe me, because I'd like to take it off, but I'm leaving it on because now, this will bring me to the next thing. To you guys that are considering having a channel, okay, and I've gotten a couple emails, and I got one yesterday, and I won't mention any names, but I got one yesterday, and it's like, hey, I'd like to do a channel. You're exactly where I was a little over a year ago. And it's like, people, like, I don't know if I want to, I got to put makeup on and all this kind of stuff. And I literally just took a nap and got up. And I didn't even brush my hair, to be honest with you. This is what it looked like when I got up. Yeah, do I sometimes put a little makeup on? Yeah, I do. And I'm not knocking that. I mean, being au naturel, put makeup on. Be comfortable. That's the key. Whatever you're most comfortable with. But that's the point, is being comfortable. I happen to be more comfortable just being me, okay? And I don't, unless I'm doing like drag makeup or going out somewhere special, I don't really wear makeup. I mean, I don't like scaring the small school kids at the school bus either with this face, but, it is kind of fun sometimes. They all scream and run home. But that's my very first video. I literally woke up because I had been contemplating doing a channel, and I woke up, hair doing the funky comadina, in my pajamas, walked out on my back porch, held the phone. I didn't even know what to look at on the phone to do this. I just figured out in the camera thing where you can hit record, and in doing so, I figure out where I have to look, and nothing planned. I just started talking, and it's a short video, but I looked like holy hallelujah, all right? Horrific. And then I came in and I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, this is really horrible. But I hit upload. So all the fear of, oh my gosh, I got to look appropriate or all this kind of stuff went out the window. I put myself out there, the very first video, at my absolute worst. Well, maybe there's been some worst times, but my absolute worst. So it only gets better from there. So the fear was gone. So now anything I do, now that I've exposed myself, anything I do is going to be hopefully an improvement. So don't be so worried about what people, like when you dance, when you go out somewhere and you dance, you think everybody in the room is watching you. No, sorry. No one's really paying attention. And if they are, and if they giggle or if they're smiling, they could be jealous. You could dance like, in your opinion, like an absolute fool, and other people will be watching you. They're jealous because you're having a good time. And that's my analogy on that one. All right, so let's see, what else? We did lighting, camera angle, just do it. Get your camera out, hit record, take a quick look at it, and hit play. I mean, yeah, if you want to start a professional channel, and I do recommend this, check out those videos, like I mentioned prior, of the people that are telling you how to do a professional video. And most of them will say that your first 100 videos, it's a learning experience. Don't expect a lot of like all of a sudden overnight success. That very rarely happens. It's a slow climb, and people will start to get to know you. And if they like you, they'll keep coming back and all this. So don't freak out, that, oh my gosh, I've been on here for a year and I've only got 500 subscribers and all this kind of stuff. Just be patient. You really, I mean, we're technically monetized. There's nothing. We don't even get money hardly, because we don't do lives and all that kind of stuff. But that's another thing. That's I'll do another video perhaps, if you like, about how to make money on on this format, on the YouTubeville. Let's see, another, covered that. Okay, background. As you can see, I've got a tapestry behind me that has an elephant, and I have it, it's a little bit off. Hold on. OCD. That's better. Okay, so there's a tapestry behind me, and that's also important, is your aesthetics around you. Something pleasing to the eye, something that's not distracting, but enjoyable. That's also something that myself personally is important to me, because I'm easily distracted. If you're doing a video and there's something going on in the background, all of a sudden I might tone deaf and just be paying attention to, what's going on behind you. So that's something else. It's not a bad thing. I don't mind it, because I'll focus back in. And if I catch something, I'm like, oh, I just rewind you and I watch again, or go back over there so you get more watch time. So that's not always a bad thing, but it's just another thing to mention. So having something, if it was off kilter in the back, that might be a little distracting. Anyway, so that's that. I do have like bullet notes right here of just, volume, camera angle, because you know how my brain dysfunctions. All right, this is that what I wrote there? Okay, all right. So now, not first of all, at this point, let me say, if you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up. Thumbs are really important for any video that you watch, for any channel. Even if you click on by accident, just hit the thumb. It doesn't hurt you, it doesn't cost you a penny, and it helps the channel with algorithms. So that's something always keep in mind. And I know a lot of you watch this on your televisions and you can't do that, and that's fine, whatever. But if you have the opportunity to leave a thumb, and also leaving a comment is huge. Engagement into a channel is huge for the algorithms. But we'll go into that. If you do like this, we'll go into this at another video, and that's why I'm going to ask this. If you like what I'm doing, and now this one, like I said, is really off the cuff, in my manner of not knowing what I'm doing or what I'm going to say, and it just spews out with the confusion. I'll do one that's a little bit more coherent and consistent and cohesive. So if you do like this and you want me to do more videos like this, also leave that in the comment so I will know. Also, if you have tips, please leave those in the comments, and I'll try to use those. And if I do further videos, and that would be great and helpful. Okay. So one last thing, because we're almost 20 minutes and I'm trying to keep these to 20 minutes, is when you're doing a video, like I'm doing this video, not for myself, because all the things I'm saying to you, I already know. Whether or not I implement them in my channel or not is a different story, but I already know this information. So I'm sitting here, not for myself, I'm sitting here for you, because I would like to see anyone who has a channel strive to get monetized, succeed to whatever level you'd like to succeed. There's no competition, there's no jealousy, and there shouldn't be any of this. There shouldn't be any, of that grade school playground BS, okay? We should all be supporting one another and get our pom-poms out for one another, because there's plenty of room on the YouTube streets for everyone. And some are going to be more successful than others, and there should be no malice, jealousy, or any of that. It is what it is. We're doing what we enjoy doing, and that's it. Don't just take it for that. Stop. There's a little bit of weird stuff that goes on behind the scenes, and it just really irks me, to be honest with you. It's very immature, in my opinion. But anyway, when you're doing a video, you're doing the video for the viewer, which would be you. So I don't know if I already went into this. That's why I need to write notes, because my sieve brain over here is all right. You guys, when you're watching this channel or this video or any other channel, while you're watching it, have in your mind, what is it that they're doing that is keeping me here? Or am I so bored I'm clicking off, and why? Don't just don't just say, I don't want to watch this and click off. Why did I want to click off? Why was it not appealing enough for me to stay? And really dissect what you're seeing. Like what behind them, maybe the background. Is this elephant distracting, or is this elephant appealing? Is it kind of zen to you? Is my voice calming, intriguing, or is it annoying to you? And that's another thing, is volume. I should go into volume. Volume is super important. I tried to figure out how to do I know I'm skipping over to the next thing, but I tried to figure out how to use the microphone, and apparently I don't know how to do that. So I do have to read the book. I hate reading. I don't hate reading. I just don't do it well these days because of old eyes. But I'm going to have the tech guy that lives here, Tony, read that and figure it out. So volume is also important, because if I happen to watch you all with earbuds in, because if the man is here, I don't want to disturb him on what he's doing. If he's watching TV, something I don't want to watch, I put the earbuds in, I watch the YouTube channel, your videos. If your volume is low, then all of a sudden with my earbuds, if a commercial comes on, it's very loud and kind of frightening at times. So that's something, if you can get a microphone, the little lapel ones, we've had those, and they, if my hair is hitting it, it's going to make a scratchy noise. There again, that's distracting and annoying. So maybe look into a microphone. The microphone I have is if I could figure out how to use it, it's a pretty nice looking one, and it was like under $30. So again, I don't like to promote Amazon because I don't think they pay taxes, allegedly. I don't know if they pay taxes or not, but it's a great place to shop for us that are on budgets, and who isn't. So yeah, volume is important. And what was I talking about before volume? Oh yeah, back to watching other channels. And I know I'm over my 20 minutes, so now I'm freaking out. Pick apart other channels in your mind. I mean, don't be, we're not being judgmental. We're not, because we're all here learning. This journey of life is a day-to-day learning experience. And also in YouTubeville, it's a learning experience. Oh, I also coined that phrase, YouTubeville. Okay, so I'm going to copyright three phases or words, but I'm not really going to do that. But anyway, this far in and I'm doing, whatever. I'm getting freaked out, actually. I'm having anxiety over the fact that I'm over 20 minutes. And that's, again, I don't need to tell you that. So, again, use this as a poor example for what a video should be and what you should and shouldn't do. So, it may not be perfect, but I could always prove as a bad example. I'm sure your mom told you that back in the day, or your dad or whomever. But look at other channels, and what is it about this video that's annoying you or engaging you, or if you already clicked off, unfortunately you're not hearing this part, but why would you click off? What wasn't I offering? So, and then write it down in a notebook and say, okay, let me, and then look at your own video and say, okay, well, there's a lot of pauses, or I say every other word, which I used to do constantly. And what is it about your video that maybe other videos, if you see something in another video that is distracting you, then maybe look at your video and say, am I doing the same thing? And whatnot. But we're almost 25 minutes. I'm freaking the heck out. I'm looking at myself. See the difference? That's me looking at me. That's me looking at you. Just throwing that out there. Anyway, I'm going to go. If you do like this video, if you're still here, don't forget the thumbs up and all that. And let me know if you would like more of these. I will do more research and do more videos. And we can all get better, because that's what the world's all about. Helping one another and loving one another. And I love you guys. And you have a Yarnolicious day if you're a crafter. And if you're not a crafter, you have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.